it's always awesome coming back home. I live in Pittsburgh now, but West Texas is home, and it's always great to come back and see everybody and eat at my favorite places and just see all of you guys. I actually haven't had as much time as I'd like. I've pretty much been here the entire time, which has been awesome. Getting to shake hands and meet a lot of people that have watched me play over the last few years and over the last 10 years. All the way, going back to high school. But for the most part, I've been up at the Civic Center pretty much all day. I was here all day yesterday, and I'll be here the rest of the day today. So it's been fun. I've been here just meeting and talking about my art and hanging out. I did a charity show in Pittsburgh, benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation there, and that went extremely well. It was a lot smaller than this. There's probably a few hundred people, and this is thousands and thousands of people. But that went great, and this is the second time. But it's good. So I've only been at it for about a year, so I'm on track, and I'm excited about whenever my next show is.
Yeah. And so, do you only show paintings, or do you also show your photographs?
I've only done paintings, mainly just because with a lot of my photos, a lot of that stuff has been humanitarian, and there's just personally speaking, I feel like there's a fine line between art and exploitation and the humanitarian side of things that I've done, and I don't really like to flirt with that. So I'd rather just show my art. Just about everybody knows now. I mean, they've done stories on it. The NFL Network did a story on it, and now it's the point where I've had coaches and teammates that have my stuff in their houses. So that's extremely neat. And just recently, Mr. Rooney, the owner of the Steelers, came and was asking about my art. Wish me luck with the show, and I know when I get back up to Pittsburgh, he's going to know how it went. I got to get him a print. Actually, an original. He's gonna be like, a print? Come on, man. So yeah, the big boss wants an original, and I'll get him one. But it's just cool to be able to share that with people. I think people that have known me for a while aren't as surprised. They know that whenever I start something, I kind of pour myself into it and go all out. And so I'm sure they kind of figured out pretty quickly once I started painting that it was going to be something I was going to pursue, because I'm not the type of person that does anything halfway. I started painting never with the intention to sell anything. It was just something that was very personal to me, something that I was really passionate about, and I never planned on selling anything. It got to the point where I just had rows and rows of paintings just sitting in my basement, and that's not what art's made to do, is just sit around. So I realized I needed to part with some of them, and it was hard to do because a lot of them were personal to me, but they've all gone for good cause and people are enjoying them. It's gotten to the point where I have a few that I did early on that I think I'll always kind of keep, that are special to me. But for the most part, I've got to the point where I enjoy other people's stuff way more than I enjoy my own. I think I enjoy making and creating that process more than I actually do the end product. I've started collecting friends' stuff. We'll do like art swaps, so I'll do something and we'll trade. And it's getting to the point where I have a lot more of other people's stuff up in my house.
And where does the inspiration come from?
Stories. I think every piece has a story behind it. These cards over here, you can go read kind of like the backstory behind some of them. But for the most part, they're all stories. They're all things I've gone through. Times in my life and messages that I feel like people can relate with. Any
of the artwork inspired by your faith? I know you speak a lot about your faith in your work.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of them are. For example, this one is the day drought died. I did this piece just kind of. The inspiration behind it is obviously the drought that's going on in West Texas right now. I knew people would relate with that, but going further than that, just talking about. Kind of relating drought to just a time in life when things are slow and still and not really moving and dry, these dry points in our life, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever it is, and appreciating those times more than you appreciate when the rain's coming down, and that's kind of the inspiration behind that. And I wrote the story behind that, and at the end it says, just kind of stick in there and have faith, and eventually there will be a day that your drought dies. So a lot of them do. There's obviously, you can kind of see it through here, but the coolest thing about art that I've learned really quickly is that one person can look at a painting and and see one thing, and another person can see another, and another person can see another, and they're all very different, but they're all right. And I think that's the coolest thing about it is people can see different things, and they mean different things, but each meaning is the right meaning.
And is there one piece that you're more proud of than another?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, they all mean a lot to me, and yeah, I think that's. I think people see that, you know, when they read the stories behind them and they look at them. That you know, I don't necessarily paint things just to look cool or look pretty. Hopefully they do, but they have meaning. So it's hard for me, even when people ask me to, you know, commission, you know, want to commission pieces and say I want this and create this for me. Typically, I don't enjoy doing that as much, just because if it doesn't have a story and if it's not personal to me, it's hard for me to create it, because that's why I ever started painting in the first place. And I kind of want to keep it that way. I want to keep it to the point where, you know, I paint what I want to, and when people get a piece of my art, they get a piece of me.
And I know you said you write stories for each painting. Are you still writing at all? I know you wrote.
Yeah. I still write. You know, I'm still keep up with my blog. I've been writing actually for the AJ for the last 3 years. It's crazy. It's been that long, but it's going on 3 years, and a lot of people in West Texas have followed my life through that for the last 3 years. So it's to the point where you know, I've had people come up and they're like, I've read every single thing you've written. I'm like, I haven't even read every single thing I've written. Sometimes I write them and I'm just like, I send them off to be edited and I don't reread them. So yeah, I mean, I think that's really cool that, you know, people feel connected to that. And some of these people see them and they're like, I remember you referencing this story or something like this about, you know, your childhood, and they feel connected to it.